Ligue 1 financial crisis. Success on the pitch versus financial collapse behind the scenes. At first glance, Ligue 1 seems to be riding high. The league is currently close to its second-best UEFA ranking points tally ever, hinting at a resurgence that harks back to the glory days of the 1990s when clubs like Marseille, PSG, and Monaco regularly graced European semi-finals and finals. French football, at least on the pitch, looks vibrant. PSG, invigorated and ambitious, aims to go further than their 2020 Champions League final heartbreak. Ligue gave Manchester United a real scare in the Europa League quarter-finals. Brest and Lille defied expectations by reaching the Champions League knockout stages, taking down giants like PSV, Atletico Madrid, and even Real Madrid along the way. Plus, the talent pipeline remains healthy, with young stars like Lille's Aya Bouadi and PSG's Desire Doué making waves on the biggest stages. But beneath this shiny surface lies a far more troubling story. A story of financial wreckage. Despite bringing in a windfall of €1.5 billion from selling media rights to the US private equity firm CVC, and booking a net €830 million from player sales last season, the Ligue de Football Professional LFP reported a staggering loss of €250 million in 2023-24 alone. And things are expected to worsen, with estimates suggesting the real operating loss could hit €1.2 billion this season. And here's the twist. PSG, backed by Qatar funds, is not the problem. It's just the glamorous tip of the iceberg. Most other French clubs, including Rennes, Monaco, and Marseille, are in dire straits, and some like Angers, Le Havre, and Montpellier may face bankruptcy before the season even ends. Lyon, once a proud European titan, accumulated losses of €117 million over just 6 months, and now awaits a crucial decision on whether they can avoid relegation. Decisions that will come down to regulators on May 31st. The president of the French Football Federation, Philippe Diallo, characterizes the crisis as not temporary but structural, pointing to a long-term decline in the key sources of revenue that sustained French football for decades: broadcasting rights and transfer markets. However, the reality is even grimmer than Diallo suggests. Broadcasting rights, once envisioned to surmount €1 billion annually, have plummeted. The last few years have seen Ligue 1 clubs desperate to sell their star players at discounted prices, as global buyers curb their appetite and the transfer market hits its ceiling. Meanwhile, media deals that once promised massive revenue are unraveling. Ligue 1's recent agreement with DAZN, projected to generate around €400 million annually until 2029, has become a source of turmoil. DAZN is bleeding money and struggling to reach its subscriber targets, facing piracy, high subscription costs, and a legal dispute that threatens to cut the deal altogether. With the collapse of their main broadcasting partner, the league is caught in a bind. No other broadcaster seems willing to step in at a reasonable price, leaving the future uncertain. Adding to the gloom, Bordeaux, once finalist in the UEFA Cup and League champions, was declared bankrupt less than a year ago and demoted to the 4th tier. While initially seen as an isolated case of mismanagement, Bordeaux's fate serves as a warning. The fragile financial foundations of French football threaten to crumble further. If the league's core clubs are struggling, the hope of a true renaissance is increasingly slipping away in the face of a structural financial crisis that's unlikely to resolve without major upheavals.